And joining us now with the latest on the Gaza war is Likud Knesset member, Deputy Chair of the Knesset, Hanoch Milwidsky. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a week of intense fighting in the Gaza Strip. The Prime Minister was in Gaza, sending a clear message. Israel will continue this war until Hamas is defeated. It's been 81 days with mounting losses. How close are we to any kind of a victory?
Well, a victory is not going to be achieved in days or in weeks. It's going to be a long process. But there's absolutely no alternative. In order to get to the underground tunnels, in order to completely eliminate Hamas abilities to rule the Gaza Strip, we need to take time and combine efforts and make sure that this time we make the job, we finish the job, get the job done. And in order to do that, it's going to take few more months, and I imagine that the entire Gaza Strip process, until we can completely declare that Hamas is no longer in Gaza, it probably is going to be over a year.
Over a year. You recently made headlines in the Israeli media by calling out another Likud member, Economy Minister Nir Barkat, for his comments on how the war was being handled. I believe that Barkat said something to the effect that soldiers were being endangered because Israel was taking care to avoid excessive Palestinian casualties. Why should he not speak out if that's what he believes to be the case? And why are we tying the hands of the army to win this thing?
That's the issue. We're not tying the hands of the army. And what he said, to my knowledge, as a member of the Defense and Foreign Affairs Committee, was completely false. Now, he's a minister. He's a very high-ranked minister in the government. If he has any basis to whatever he is saying, I would expect him to come out and explain to the public why he is saying what he is saying. And if he so feels, and if he thinks that he cannot influence the government to act differently, he should resign. If I was a minister in a government that would endanger our soldiers in order to, meet international pressure or, take into consideration other things than clear operational matters, I wouldn't have stayed in such a government for 1 minute. He's a minister, and when he says something like that, when there are hundreds of thousands of reserve soldiers out there right now, when hundreds of thousands of families in Israel are worried sick to what will happen with their loved ones, when every day we receive the news of new casualties, soldiers that were killed in order for us to continue to live here, to say such things without any nothing to support your very harsh accusations is something that
Hanoch, I just want to move on.
Should have been done.
Before we run out of time, I want to ask you about a potential hostage deal. Egypt is trying to mediate. Hamas is saying no because part of the deal would see Hamas replaced in Gaza. Can you see any deal coming about in the coming days without a ceasefire?
I think that just like the last deal, a deal will only be possible when Hamas leaders fear for their own personal lives, and when they understand that they will either be killed or make a deal. We're not in that situation yet. They only understand force. They only understand power. They only understand death. We have to bring force. We have to bring death to their doorstep, and then they will be willing to talk. Not a second earlier.
Before we finish, I just wanted to ask you quickly about the North. I mean, these people have been out of their homes for almost 80 days. Homes are being destroyed. Entire communities like Kibbutz Manara are being damaged. When are we going to say enough is enough to Hezbollah and we're just going to move them out of South Lebanon?
Well, they're going to move from where they are now. It will be done either through diplomatic means or through military operation. Now, it would be unwise for me to say here, in the media what exactly and when we're planning to do. But if the diplomatic efforts fail, then we will have to resume to
All right.
military force.
We're going to have to end it there. I do want to wish you a better 2024 than we had in 2023. Thanks for being with us.
To all of us.